Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Thursday, the 24th day of September. Today is National Cherries Jubilee Day. Ooh,
Okay.
That sounds delicious. National Punctuation Day, period. Or should I say exclamation point? Probably that. And, did I tell you about the time I had somebody talking about explanation points?
Oh, yes, you did.
Because I just thought that was a funny... I overheard a conversation where she said it was an explanation point. And they were... She was talking down to them and then said explanation point.
Yeah, clearly not a very educated person.
There we go. I think that's going to do it for all the fun stuff going on today. We do have a Dear John letter today from Mad Mama, wondering about what she should do about her kid that's getting picked on in school. I posted this Dear John letter Monday, Tuesday, earlier this week. Anyway, you can find it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A recent study by the University of Sussex finds that snackers have a hard time realizing they're full while focusing on other things like a television show. Why are you pointing at me?
For sure. Oh, I'm the same way.
Yeah. I just, it's a habit. Because for my entire lifetime, we'll be watching TV, you'll have like a little snack.
Yep.
You'll be watching a little TV, doing a little snack. And yeah, it's just like now you sit down and you're like, I need a snack. Now I really don't. I probably don't ever need a snack.
Right.
But that's a tough habit to break.
It is.
We've got a link to that study in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. It did not pay to pull a fast one. A man left behind a winning lottery ticket in Georgia when he fled during a traffic stop on Interstate 75. This says here, to the suspect who ran on foot from our deputies on a traffic stop this morning on I-75, you left behind a winning lottery ticket.
Oh, how much was the winning ticket?
$100.
Oh.
They said that you left that in your vehicle, the agency wrote. They added, the scratch-off ticket is waiting for you if you want to swing by the sheriff's office. And it says, yes, he will get his lottery ticket back, but we are keeping your methamphetamines.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. So he took off running, probably not because of the lottery ticket, but probably because of the meth.
I'm pretty sure that's why he took off running.
So now they have it all.
The fine's going to be way more than that $100 lottery ticket.
Probably. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Following a report last week, The Batman is resuming production after a COVID-19 triggered shutdown. Warner Brothers officially confirmed this, although it's not yet known whether Robert Pattinson is also on set after testing positive for COVID-19 earlier in the month. It does seem that things are rolling again on the much-anticipated picture. The Batman will focus on Bruce Wayne's early days as a crime fighter in Gotham City, with the Riddler understood to be the main villain. Reese Witherspoon, I always thought she seemed like a nice lady. She and Neil Patrick Harris and other celebs get help cutting down on clutter in a new unscripted series. The organizing duo Clea Shearer, I don't know who that is, and Jonah Teplin of The Home Edit help one family and one celebrity in each episode, one regular family.
It would be interesting to see a celebrities clutter. What kind of
Yeah.
junk celebrities keep sitting around? I know what kind of junk regular people
have all
keep
these
sitting around.
Emmys and all these
Yeah.
Oscars in my way. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Anyway, it's called The Home Edit, and their website is thehomeedit.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Researchers say the most common regret older people have about their life is they spent too much time worrying.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time worrying.
I know. And what do I tell you all the time?
You say don't worry, but I
do.
have to worry because you won't worry.
I don't worry, and I'm not going to start to worry, and I don't think you should worry. You should stop it. Stop worrying. Australian researchers found that a drowsy brain may be just the same as a drunk brain when it comes to performing complex tasks like driving. Study found that reaction times are slowed to the extent of a blood alcohol level of 0.05
Oh,
after staying awake
wow.
for 17 to 19 hours.
Well, yeah, I could see that. I've been pretty tired.
It's not that long, though.
It's too long.
The longer the subject stayed awake, the more their performance plummeted,
Yeah, wow.
eventually reaching the same level of impairment as illegal intoxication. While memory and problem solving were not much affected by sleep deprivation, the ability to maintain attention to detail
Yeah.
during a monotonous task was. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But I have that problem all the time.
You do have that
because I
problem
have
all the time.
ADD. Researchers said that while there's no ideal amount of daily sleep, they think we need somewhere between 7 and 8 hours
Yep.
as a good average. 7 and 8. Teens need more. I don't get that much, and I don't need that much.
You do.
You can't make me do it.
You do need that much. That's why as soon as you sit down, no matter where we are, whether it be a Metallica concert,
That happened once.
you fall asleep.
I fell asleep at a
It's because
concert.
you don't get enough rest.
I've
at
fallen
night.
asleep at a lot of concerts.
Yeah,
You should be
that's why.
taking some cold showers, according to researchers. They had subjects add a cold shower to the end of their regular hot shower routine to measure that effect on health and other lifestyle factors. They found that cold showers significantly reduced the number of sick days that subject took during the study. It says the author hypothesizes, that means they guessed, that it was caused by invigorating effect of a cold shower, which some subjects compared to a jolt of caffeine. In fact, the subjects enjoyed the cold shower so much, the majority of them continued doing this even after that phase of the study had ended.
So they're saying take your hot shower and then right before you get out, turn the water to freezing cold.
Yeah, just a
Okay.
little blast of cold water, which with the new shower we put in is pretty easy because you have to reach through the water to turn the water off. So like when you turn the water on in our new shower, you get the cold shower to start with. So I'll reach in and turn the water on.
I just leave the waterfall thing on all the time. It doesn't spray out.
I'm not a fan of that at all. Anyway, scientists say that North American... Oh, she's my wife, by the way, for those of you that hadn't caught on. We've said that numerous times, but just in case there's a new listener going, wait a minute, how do these two share a shower? Well, because we're married. All right, one last thing. Scientists say that the North American bird population has drastically dropped by 29% since 1970. 29% fewer birds, and since 1970, the amount of life in the sea has been reduced by half. That's kind of crazy. So I wonder what's been going on. Apparently, nothing good for the birds in the sea.
I wonder how they would know that. I mean,
they
it's,
counted them.
yeah.
I don't know either. I have no clue.
I mean, how many times have they said, oh, we thought this animal was extinct, and now here's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think anybody really knows. They're just guessing.
they're hypothesizing, Heidi.
Yeah.
Hypothesizing. All right. This is going to do it for today's Scoop of the Day. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. And it's time right now for
Dear John Letters.
All right, First of all, before we get to our letter, I just want to say thank you to the folks that reached out last week. We got several people that reached out for the person who had the letter last week. A bunch of people reached out, first of all, through Facebook, but then several people who reached out to me personally saying, hey, can you get this to them? I want to make sure they see this. So thank you for the people who reached out last week. It was a person who lost a child. Remember that? So thank you guys for doing that.
We also had a lot of people that reached out and said, please don't get rid of Dear John Letters.
We had talked about that a couple weeks ago, saying, maybe this has run its course. But again, thank you for letting us know that you do like this. Because sometimes, when you're reading a letter for one person, I don't know if that's going to translate to everybody listening.
Right.
But I was told that people really do like this. So I'm glad to hear that, at least from some. So I hope you do as well, because we got another one. Here it is. Dear John, my son is getting picked on at school. I've called the school about it, but they don't really do anything. My son is singled out on a regular basis by the same kid. I'm not sure what to do. I have friends that have told me to just call the police and press charges. I think that may be a little bit too much. I'm looking for other options. I've been calling around to other schools in the area to see if we can move in the middle of a school year. Something needs to happen. I was picked on as a child, and it still haunts me. This is no way for my son to get his start in school. He's only in kindergarten right now, and it's already happening. Any ideas? Signed, Mad Mama. First of all, I'm really sad to hear that your kiddo's getting picked on. I'm sad to hear you were picked on, too. And, I don't know what the answer is. I guess the first thing, it doesn't say, and I don't know if you've talked to the kid's parents.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would do. I would contact that kid's parents.
Because you don't know what's going on, I mean, I'm not trying to say that it's okay for a kid to pick on another kid.
No,
it's not. It's not at all. But if maybe there's something terrible that just happened to this kid in his life, he might have lost somebody, or there's something that he's going through. Again, it doesn't make it right for him to pick on someone else. But if his parents know that's what he's doing, they can at least talk to him and say, hey, that's not the right way to do this, and that's not the way you treat somebody. So I think step number one is you already did. You called the school. If that doesn't seem to be helping, talk to the parents. Mm-hmm. I would do that before you call the police, because I don't think you need to.
I wouldn't involve. There's nothing that the police can do. I mean, what are they going to do? They're not going to arrest a 5-year-old.
Yeah, or whatever, 6, whatever, a kindergarten. I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know what they would do.
They have serious things to handle.
Not that this isn't serious.
It's very serious, but it's not police worthy. Yeah, I mean, now if your child's coming home with bodily injuries and
I
he is being harmed,
I don't know how far that's going.
Then that's a different story. If this kid is violent and is harming your child, then yeah, maybe the police need to get involved. But either way, first I would start with the parents, and if the parents don't do anything, I would be willing to bet that you're a lot bigger than this kid, and if this were happening to my child, I'd be meeting that kid on the playground.
I don't know that that's the answer either. So
I'm just saying.
I'm going to turn Heidi's microphone off now. This is why I'm always worried about Dear John Letters, especially serious ones. No, again, first of all, I'm really, really sad to hear that you're going through this. Now, we've got 2 children. Our kids are grown up now. They don't always act like it, but we've got a son that's in his 20s, a daughter that's not quite into her 20s yet. But I remember both of them going through issues where there was this person they didn't get along with, and somebody that it just seemed like there were little issues. I don't know if it was ever to a point where we needed to call police, because we never did, so it must not have been. But I know there were times that we reached out to the school about an incident here or an incident there, and I can only imagine how awful I would feel if I found out my kids were being the bully.
Oh, my kids would have been in so much trouble.
So hopefully, if you reach out to the parents of this child who's doing this, hopefully that would be enough for them to say, hey, that is not how we do things.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't, a quick Google search will tell you whether or not Fisher-Price sells a taser.
Stop. No, don't. They don't, by the way. I've already looked. No, I just think we're off the rails. Thank you very much for the letter. If you would like to chime in with much better advice than Heidi has, I would encourage that. You can find this letter, posted it earlier this week. There's already some great comments on there. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A puck, like used in the game of ice hockey, originally, the very first puck, what do you think it was made out of? On ice.
Oh, pies.
Yes. How did you know that?
I think I've heard this before.
Yeah, the very first ever hockey puck was made out of frozen cow manure.
Yeah.
That is kind of funny. I'm amazed that you knew that. Wow.
I'm from Iowa.
My wife is smart.
We have a lot of cows.
You're very, very good. That is correct. She wins. I don't even know what to give you. You've never gotten anything right around here.
Whoa.
Just kidding. She always gets a lot of stuff right. Thanks for listening to today's Fun Fact. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Germany. Germany has confirmed the first case of African swine fever on its territory after a wild boar cadaver in the eastern state of Brandenburg tested positive for African swine fever. Luckily, African swine fever does not affect humans, but sadly, it is deadly for pigs.
Oh, that's too bad.
So keep your pigs out of Germany, especially the Brandenburg area.
That's too bad.
That is too bad. So do you remember a few years back we had the thing called swine flu? Remember that? And then there was avian flu. So not good. This is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. As of this month, Luke Angel is 10 years into a life sentence. Let me tell you what happened. Back in 2010, this British man, who at the time was only 17 years old, he got in trouble with the FBI when this 17-year-old kid, now he's 27, back then, 17, got drunk, which you shouldn't do at age 17, and then emailed the President of the United States, not the current one, but the one that was in office at that time. He became upset after watching a documentary. It led him to compose an expletive-laden email aimed at the current president at the time. Again, the former president now. After the FBI contacted local British police, they visited Angel, again 17, at his home. They took his picture. They informed him that he would not be able to enter the U.S. ever. So he's been banned for life because he got drunk when he was 17 and emailed the president a really nasty, nasty gram.
Okay.
Not a smart thing to do.
No, gosh,
Very
no.
bizarre. But that is today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. An Alaskan dentist has been sentenced to 12 years behind bars for a stunt that we've talked about on this program before. While he was working on a patient, Seth Lookhart was on a hoverboard, so like a little roll-around device, and they were recording a video. So this stemmed from charges way back when this happened, removing a patient's teeth without their permission,
Whoa.
performing a tooth extraction while balancing on a hoverboard. He was convicted in January on charges of reckless endangerment, illegally practicing dentistry, and medical assistance fraud. After he gets out of prison, he will not be allowed to practice dentistry for at least a dozen years. And I'm telling you now, even when the dozen years is up, who's going to want to have this guy yanking their teeth out? Because, you know, what he did was just reckless. Not a good idea. And here's what you got to choose. Do you want to be a dentist or do you want to be a social media star? Because he was trying to, gain followers on social media. Hey, look at what I'm doing on this. I'm a dentist and I'm yanking teeth out on a hoverboard.
It's the most ridiculous thing. I know we've talked about this guy before, but I didn't realize that's why he was doing it. I thought he was just a knucklehead.
Knucklehead, yeah, definitely. It's today's moment of duh. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here's what we do. We read a headline, she has to guess. True story from the great state of Florida, or fake news made up to trick her and amuse me. Here we go. Fake news or Florida. After 13 years, Opelika, Florida has overturned a ban on saggy pants. Fake news or Florida?
Ooh. I'm going to say fake news.
And you would be incorrect. I've got a little more to this story here. Last week, the city council there repealed both the original 2007 legislation and a 2013 ordinance that said women, not just men, could receive civil citations for wearing pants that exposed their undergarments. After the ordinance went into effect, signs were posted around the town, says no ifs, ands, or buts. It's the city law. So now they just recently overturned it.
I would have to say I kind of like that law.
You know what? I'm not a fan of extra laws, but I'm also not a fan of people wearing their pants like that. But it shouldn't be a law. I think a law is maybe
there should be some
DCC,
common sense.
Yeah, exactly. But you shouldn't need a law.
But you don't want people don't want their children seeing that sort of thing, and it's the same thing as indecent exposure. I mean, you know, I don't know. I just kind of feel like
it doesn't need to be a law. This has been very confusing. Fake news or Florida on the John and Heidi Show. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Here's the headline, Heidi. A match made in heaven. A teen swimmer becomes blind and trains for Paralympics with a guide dog. So, New York resident Anastasia Pagonis was 14 when she lost her sight within 2 months. Can you even imagine? That would be such an awful thing.
I can't imagine. That would be
young
horrible.
Girl had so much going on, and she was on top of the world, and said it was such a struggle for me. It took me about 8 months to kind of regroup myself, and then I got in my head, okay, I'm blind. Now what am I going to do with my life? Swimming. That was the answer. She had taken up swimming just 6 months before losing her eyesight, but she knew it was kind of her happy place. The mid-distance freestyler, now 16, has racked up an impressive amount of wins, including 2 gold medals at the World Para Swimming World Series in Australia earlier in the year. And now she got a call about partnering with a guide dog. The Guide Dog Foundation paired her with a Labrador named Radar, who was raised by a professional hockey team. Radar became the first puppy with a purpose for the New York Islanders. Says they trained together for several hours, about 10 days rather, and then finally teamed up August 19th. Radar has given me so much independence, she says. I'm literally in love with him. He's the best thing ever, and we are a match made in heaven. So she says, I'm officially moving in with Radar to become the first resident athlete at the Olympic Paralympic Training Center in Colorado. And it's a huge, scary decision for me, but sometimes you need to take a leap of faith, because if you don't try, you don't know. Always follow your dreams. I love that.
Yeah, that's
such a
cool.
Smart young lady for just 16 years young. And all of this started happening in her life when she was just 14. I cannot even imagine. But what a cool story. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.